and welcome to this special program on Mission Rabies. Rabies is a very dangerous disease. However, the awareness about it is very less. So what exactly is rabies? Rabies is a contagious and a fatal viral disease of dogs and other mammals that is transmitted into humans through their saliva, causing madness and later the death of the person. So to prevent its repercussion, the rabies vaccine was introduced in the year 1885. In the year 1908, the improved version of the rabies vaccine was introduced. Currently in Goa, the rabies vaccination drive is being held. So let us speak to the Chief Minister of Goa, Dr. Pramod Sawant, after Goa being declared as a rabies control state in India.
गोय हे रॅबीज मुक्त झालं आणि भारतातले पहिली स्टेट जितून रॅबीजाची एकूय केसीस ना आणि खरेंच हे श्रेय मेळटा गोय राज्याचे आमचे आदरणीय मुख्यमंत्री डॉक्टर प्रमोद सावंत सर कशें पळयता ह्या गोष्टी कडेन
हाजें श्रेय हें म्हाका मेळना हांव हें श्रेय गोंयकारांक दिता कारण आमी म्हणटा की जेन्ना जेन्ना आमी गोंयकारां खातीर उलो मारलो तेन्ना तेन्ना समिस्त गोंयकार फुडें आयले फाटल्या 2.5 वर्साच्या कार्यकाळांत गोंय रॅबीज मुक्त करपा खातीर आमी रॅबीज वॅक्सिनेशन ड्रायव जेन्ना जेन्ना चालयले जेन्ना जेन्ना चलयले तेन्ना प्रत्येक कडले लोक जे आसा हे आपल्या डॉगीक घेवन आयलेत आनी त्याच बरोबर स्ट्रीट डॉग्स जे आसा हांकां वॅक्सिनेशन करपा खातीर त्या गांवांतल्यो पंचायती आसतल्यो म्युनिसिपालिटी आसतल्यो स्वयंसेवी संस्था आसतल्यो आणि खास करून रॅबीज मिशन ह्या ऑर्गनायझेशनान गोंय सरकाराच्या बरोबर ऑन बोर्ड येवन आमी तांकां वॅक्सिनेशन करपाक शकले म्हणून फाटल्या गेली कितलींशींच वर्सां आमी रॅबीजाची एकूय केस गोंयांत मेळूंक ना रॅबीज मुक्त राज्य म्हणून आमकां डिक्लेअर करपा खातीर संद मेळ्ळी
सर आतां सुद्दां एक ड्रायव्ह आतां सुरू करपाचें आसा जे स्ट्रे डॉग्स आसा तांकां सुद्दां परत एकदां वॅक्सिनेशनाचो ड्रायव्ह सुरू करपाचें आसा लोकांची मदत ताजे वतीन तुमी कशी मागता
रॅबीज वॅक्सिनेशन आमी परत एकदां सुरवात करता हांव समेस्त गोंयकारांक आव्हान करता की विशेष करून लोकप्रतिनिधी जे ग्रामपंचायत जिल्हा पंचायत म्युनिसिपालिटीज ह्या सगळ्यांनी आपल्या एरियेंत आसपी सगळे स्ट्रे डॉग जे आसा हांकां वॅक्सिनेशन करपा खातीर आमच्या रॅबीज मिशन ह्या संस्थे खातीर मदत करची जेणे करून खूब मोठ्या प्रमाणांत आनी जाता तितके बेगीन आमी वॅक्सिनेशन ड्रायव्ह पुराय करपाक शकतले म्हाका खात्री आसा इवन दो आपलो जो डॉग आसा ताकाय बी तुमी वॅक्सिन करून घेतले जेणे करून गोंय आमकां रॅबीज मुक्त राज्य म्हणून परत एकदां मेंटेन दवरपाक जाय तें मेंटेन दवरपाक तुमचो सगळ्यांचो सहकार्य आमकां लाभतलो हाजी हांव आस्त बाळगितां
एक लास्ट प्रश्न खुबशे आतां कंप्लेंट्स येता की स्ट्रे डॉग्स जे आसा तांचे बद्दल खूब मॅनेस वाडला खुबशा लोकांचेर अटॅक जाता किंवा स्ट्रे डॉग खूब हे करता ते टॅकल करपा खातीर कितें आयडियाज फुडें काडल्या
एक 2-3 NGOज आसात जे स्ट्रे डॉगच्या बाबतींत काम करता अशा पद्दतीन NGOनीच फुडें येवपाक जाय गव्हर्मेंट डायरेक्टली अशा पद्दतीचे हाजेर जर काम करता आसत जाल्यार इन कोलॅबोरेशन विथ द NGOज आमी हें काम करपाक शकता त्या खातीर गोंयांतल्यो जश्यो कॅटल पॉंड आमी वेगवेगळे कडेन तयार केले अशा पद्दतीचे जर आयले हितूर सगळ्यात रॅबीज मिशन हे खूब बऱ्या पद्दतीचें काम करता गोंयांतल्यो संस्था फुडें जर आयल्यो जाल्यार आमी स्ट्रे डॉगचो प्रॉब्लेम जो आसा हो ट्रीट करपाक शकतले थँक्यू
I feel very happy and I should congratulate the gone by nodal officer of Mission Rabies who was handling the animal welfare board activities, Dr. Vilas Naik, and the present one, Dr. Marvin Lopez, who have handled the thing very nicely. The strategy was having a short scheme for Mission Rabies and collaboration with the Mission Rabies people who have done a wonderful job with Government of Goa funding. From September 2015 we have initiated this program and it has been a massive success and I'm sure the other neighboring states can replicate this in their own way, especially the border states of Karnataka and Maharashtra. As you must be knowing, rabies is a fatal viral zoonotic disease. It is especially fatal when the clinical signs start showing in the human. That's because of the acute progressive encephalitis that sets in. Now, what is reported is mostly 99% of the rabies cases in humans are mediated from the dogs. And also, about 40% cases in India are in the children below 15 years of age. So, if we can control the dogs by mass vaccinations every year, that is what is done by Mission Rabies in collaboration with our veterinary officers. And the other strategy, other than mass vaccination every year, is the education programs in the colleges, schools, especially primaries, and also wide publicity, print, electronic media, and also posters, which the Mission Rabies does very fantastically. You can see it everywhere at strategic points, airports, railway stations, border checkposts. This is how it is done. And I'm very happy that this program has succeeded so well that Goa has been declared as first rabies control state in whole of India.
As you know, Goa is the first and the only state in India to be declared as a rabies controlled area. And this has been achieved because the government of Goa in 2015, in September 2015, has signed an MOU with Mission Rabies to extensively start vaccination in dogs as a rabies control program. Okay, so since then, for the last 6 years, government of Goa has spent almost 4.5 crores, and we have managed to do about 5 lakh vaccinations, both in ownered and stray dogs. So this is a Herculean task. It is not easy to do stray dogs and all the dogs in Goa and do extensive vaccination. So by doing this, today, what have we achieved? Today we have 0 cases in human beings for the last 4 years. It's a big achievement. Since October 2017, there are no human cases reported. Also, the incidence of rabies in dogs has not been reported in 7 or 8 talukas in Goa, that is Bardes, Tiswadi, Murmugaon, Salset, Sange, Kepe. There are no incidents of rabies reported for the last 2 years. There have been some cases reported in the border talukas. So these are Perne, Bicholi, Satari and Konkani. This is because our neighboring states have not started this rabies control program and the virus is endemic there. So there is always migration of the dogs with the virus from the porous border of Goa, bordering Karnataka, Maharashtra, on all the sides. So it is very important to understand the difference between rabies controlled area and rabies free state. There's a lot of difference. Goa cannot be declared as a rabies free state as long as we have this possibility of reintroduction of virus from the neighboring states. So we have to continue working this work in control of rabies. We cannot just throw up our hands and say, okay, now we are declared as controlled area, so we don't have to worry about rabies. So we have to continue our work. The project is constantly monitored by the Department of Animal Husbandry. Initially, of course, Mission Rabies has got an app where all dogs vaccinated are registered in the app, so they can monitor the whole area of vaccinations being done. Mission Rabies work in turn is monitored by the Animal Husbandry veterinary officers all over the state. Further, at the end of the year, the local authorities, that is the panchayats and the municipalities, submit us a statement of number of dogs vaccinated by Mission Rabies. So it is a foolproof thing, and we are closely monitoring, and that is why we have managed to achieve this. So as I said, our work is not over. So we have to continue doing. Doing vaccination. We have to continue this surveillance. Any rabies case or symptoms of rabies has to be reported immediately to the rabies hotline number. So the hotline number is 7744029586. The third step, to maintain this rabies controlled status in Goa, we have already alerted the border checkposts, that is roadways, railways, waterways and airways, okay, not to permit entry of any pet animal or dog into the state without a vaccination certificate. We have also set up large boarding signs and at the entry points in Goa for people to be aware that any animal entering Goa has to be vaccinated against rabies. The fourth step is, since our borders are always subject to reintroduction of the virus because the neighboring states are not done their vaccination program, we are going to continue extensive vaccination in Perne, Bicholi, Satari and Konkani, both of owner and stray dogs. And in case there is any incidence or outbreak of rabies in any part of Goa, we have a system where we will do a thing called as ring vaccination. Around that area, around 5 kilometers, we will do a ring vaccination. So with this, we can only hope that our neighboring states and other states in India also adopt this rabies control program, which has been very successful in Goa. And only once our neighboring states, Karnataka and Maharashtra, have commenced and have completed the rabies control program, can Goa be declared as a rabies-free state. Thank you.
So today we have with us in our studio Dr. Murugan Appupillai. He is the Director Education of Mission Rabies. Sir, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
So can you tell me about the rabies? There is little awareness. So how and why is it about the rabies disease, the importance of the awareness regarding the disease?
Yes, thank you very much. Actually, rabies disease is a deadly disease, and any person who gets rabies, if starts the symptoms, we may not be able to save him. So such a deadly disease. So we have to create awareness. In addition to that, rabies is not a new disease like emerging disease like hepatitis or influenza, but this is a very old disease, about 3000 years old disease. But still, due to lack of awareness, we are not able to do anything. And thirdly, this rabies is having vaccine. For example, in the case of COVID, we were losing a lot of life. You remember, yes. Due to the want of vaccine. Vaccine was not available when we got the COVID disease.
Yes, sir.
But now after getting the vaccine, we were able to do and control this disease very nicely. But in the case of rabies, we have this vaccine developed about 130 years ago, yes, by Louis Pasteur. But even after getting this vaccine available, we are not able to control this disease.
Yes, sir.
So about 20,000 people are estimated to die in India alone. India is the hotspot. So that is the reason we have to create awareness, great awareness, because the World Health Organization has targeted to eliminate this disease by 2030 from the whole world. So that means that we are running short of time. So we have to create a great awareness to get this disease eliminated.
Okay. Sir, one more thing, if a dog is vaccinated with the rabies, so how much days does it take to build a immunity?
case if the animal gets rabies started showing the symptoms, the dog will die. Definitely the dog will die within 10 days after showing the symptoms.
Yeah.
So that is the thing. So for the for the dogs which you vaccinate, you mean for the dogs which
Yeah,
are
after
vaccinated,
vaccinating.
the immunity is normally 1 year.
1 year.
Usually annual vaccination is required.
Yeah.
But in the case of mission rabies, we are vaccinating with the MSD animal health vaccine, which is potent for 3 years actually.
3 years.
But even though it is potent for 3 years, we are vaccinating every single year because India is endemic country.
Yeah.
So on safer side, we are vaccinating every year. Annual vaccination is done.
Okay. So what are the symptoms if a dog is dog with the rabies has bitten you? So what are the symptoms the person develops?
Yes, usually in the beginning, the person goes like fever or headache, and the normal, the usual symptoms will start. Then slowly he will start developing, frustration, anxiety, and that type of symptoms will slowly start. Then finally he goes for profuse salivation, and also voice. There is a change in voice due to the paralysis of the throat muscles.
Yeah.
And he is not able to drink water. It is called hydrophobia.
Yeah.
So due to the paralysis of the throat muscles, then slowly he is going worse, and then he goes for paralysis, and then dies due to heart attack and breathlessness.
Okay. Suppose a dog is vaccinated. How the person or the if it is a pet owner, we know that the owner tells that the dog is vaccinated. But so in case of the street dogs, how we can know that the dogs are vaccinated?
Yes, actually the dogs, when they are vaccinated, we are taking this data in the app called Mission Rabies app,
Yeah.
which has been developed for the government purpose, and the data says which place the dog was vaccinated, whether the male or female, or whether this dog is a neutered dog or a non-neutered dog, whether it is a owner dog or a stray dog. All details are recorded,
Yeah.
and the place of vaccination is also recorded. So this gives the data how many dogs have been vaccinated from each village, like that.
Okay.
And for a common man to understand the stray dog, whether it is vaccinated or not, it was not earlier. It was not possible, except our departmental people. But now we are tying these collars for those dogs which are getting vaccinated. So by seeing the collar itself, you know that this dog is vaccinated.
Okay. What are the current challenges that you are facing for the vaccination drive?
Yes, actually the challenges were so far, no, as you know, we started getting zero rabies in human beings since September 2017 onwards. But in the case of animals also, from 2018 we don't get any rabies in the talukas, the internal talukas, except the border talukas. So the reason for the border talukas getting this rabies in the animals is due to migration. You know, during the COVID time, particularly during the COVID time, the dogs were out of food, and particularly Maharashtra, it was completely, all the restaurants were closed and no food. So all dogs started migrating from that place to Goa for such a food, you know. So due to that, they brought the virus, because Goa is protected place and Maharashtra is endemic place where there is no rabies control. So that virus has transmitted this way from the other state. So that is a big challenge for us, and in fact we are doing a great job to control this, and as you know, the government has now notified the disease, and thanks to the Goa government, and all these borders have been now protected, and that is a great challenge now. So to stop this virus coming from the other states, even though we have declared Goa rabies controlled state, but it is a big challenge now to stop this virus from coming from other states.
So what another educational awareness you have created in Goa?
Yes, actually education is a part and parcel of the project, as you know. So we are targeting the children, because you know about 40% of the fatalities and the victims are rabies victims are children. So the children are the main focus for us. You know, when we started the project during 2014, we selected about 44 randomly selected schools, and we started doing the KIP survey to find out the knowledge of the children. And we found that the knowledge of children was poor in rabies. So following that, we designed our education material, and we started educating the children, going school by school, and started covering around 1,400 schools every single year. And we cover about 1.5 lakh children every year. So that's a main target. So in addition to that, what we have done is, we have also requested the government of Goa, thanks to the government of Goa, and there was no education in the textbook so far for the rabies.
Yes.
And this was first time introduced in Goa. And now you can see the 6th standard science book is having a 2-page text on rabies education. So that also was developed. So like that, a lot of the activities, the community activities, as well as the children's education, we hope that this message is spread to the children. And if you see the impact of it earlier, when we started it, as I told you, the knowledge was very poor.
Yes.
And now presently you go to any place and you ask any children or any adult about this thing, the awareness has been created very high, and they are started going to the hospital immediately after the bite. They know about the value of that.
Okay. So another thing is that there is a awareness. You have said that now it is being created. So is there any door-to-door campaigns held for the awareness program, like vaccination drive currently you are having? So is it door-to-door?
Yeah, the vaccination campaign, thank you for asking this question. Actually, the vaccination so far for the pet animals was done door to door. But now the project is coming to a close. Very shortly we are going for a close and changing over the project, because as you know, we have come to a controlled status.
Yes.
So now onwards we want to do this pet animals as a static point vaccination, that is in specific centers. So instead of going door by door, the vaccinations will be held in specific centers in the villages. So people need to carry this dogs to the center and get them free vaccinated. So this is done already in Africa with the Mission Rabies project, and it was a great success. And now the government of Goa is now introducing this presently from now onwards to maintain this status.
Okay, so currently the vaccination drive is held. So how has been the response from the pet owners?
Yes, this year the static point vaccination has been started as a trial. Now it is a trial. The actual
so this year only
this is a trial. This is the first time trial. So I mean the number of people who are getting vaccinated is not so high, but it is okay. Very good. Thank you very much, because awareness, they are getting the awareness now. From next year we are going to get a fantastic response from the public. We know that.
Okay.
Actually, you know, in rabies, the people need to know it is a serious deadly disease.
Yeah.
Number one. And number two, in case if they are bitten by a dog, how to avoid the bite? In case, because as I told you, the virus is coming mainly from the dog. In case if they can avoid the dog bite, they can avoid rabies.
Yeah.
So they need to know that how to avoid the dog bite. Then in case if you are bitten, how to stop it, how to stop the disease, how to manage if you are bitten by a dog. If you are bitten by a dog, the best first aid is washing the wound with soap and water for 15 minutes. So that is the best first aid. After that, you should go for the anti-rabies injections.
Okay.
So 5 doses of anti-rabies injections on the 0 day, 3rd day, 7th day, 14th day and 28th day intramuscular injections are advised by WHO.
Yeah.
So they have to go for the injections. That is very important. In case if the dog bite is so serious, the doctor will also consider to give this immunoglobulins as well in addition to the vaccination. So these are some of the steps they should know about it, because this is a deadly disease. In case if they get the disease, there is no chance of survival. So this awareness, if the people know and if they take it very serious, they can control this bite, and they need not worry about this disease. Okay. And one more thing also, people should know, all the dogs are not rabid dogs. But for safety purpose, we are taking it. Only few dogs are rabid, so don't be alarmingly, don't get panicky. Yeah.
Okay. And how long does it take to develop the disease in you?
Yes. In human being also, it is about sometimes it takes about a week time, or usually it is about 3 weeks to 3 months time.
Yeah.
But depending on the proximity of the bite, for example, if you are bitten on the head area, it is very close to the brain. You know that the virus travels to the brain, then start the symptoms. So if you are very close to the brain area, if you are bitten here or here or here, then quickly they will develop the symptoms. So you have to be very quick. If you are bitten in the extremities like the leg, it will take some time to travel. The virus takes some time. Okay. So usually it is between 3 weeks to 3 months time. But we advise anybody who is bitten by a dog within 24 hours, they should go for this treatment and vaccination. Okay. That is the advice we are giving.
So thank you, sir, for coming here in the studio and giving our audience the importance of rabies. and telling the people that appealing to the people that to get their pets vaccinated. So
Actually,
yeah.
to be honest with you, and this public can help this project very much, because the government is now going for the maintenance project to maintain the status for coming years, because already we have declared at this period. So if the public support this project by getting their dogs vaccinated and also by getting their dogs sterilized to reduce the number of population. No, they need to get their dogs sterilized and getting annual vaccination. In addition to that, if they could help to control the feed availability, like disposal of the proper food waste and garbages, it will be really appreciable.
So that was Dr. Murugan Appupillai, Director Education of Mission Rabies. So ma'am, as a vaccination in charge, how did you cover the population of the dogs to get them vaccinated?
So we've been doing this campaign in Goa for 6 years now, and we aim to get 70% of the dog population. So it's through a variety of catching methods, hand catching and net catching, and we literally walk all over Goa. We go door to door, we cover every street, vaccinate every dog that we see on the way. So that's stray dogs and owner dogs as well.
I see many advertisement of the static point vaccination. So can you just tell me more about it?
Yeah, so this is the first year that we've actually done the static point campaign. And so it's a trial this year. We want to see how many people turn up, how easy it is for people to bring their dogs. And this is part of us phasing out the project so that the government of Goa can take over the Department of Animal Husbandry and Veterinary Services. So they will continue the campaign in years to come. And it's much easier if people come to a static point, they can handle their dogs, bring their dogs. It saves resources because it takes so much manpower, so much time to go door to door covering the owner dogs. So the emphasis should be on the owners. It's quite difficult because they've been so used to us coming door to door. But hopefully as the years go by we can change this and encourage more people to come, get the vaccine and be responsible dog owners.
If the dog is vaccinated, then how much possible it is to reduce the spread of the virus?
Yeah, so rabies is 100% preventable through vaccination, but what we work on is achieving herd immunity within the dog population. So we don't have to vaccinate 100% of the dog population, we aim for 70%, so then we develop herd immunity in the dog population in all the areas where we're working.
Pet owners basically get their pets to the vaccination centers, but when it comes to the street dogs, how is it difficult to catch them and afterwards vaccinating them? Yes. Because suppose there are 10 dogs in a colony, so when they see you all, so they run. So how difficult it is?
Yes, that's right. That's been one of the biggest challenges over the years. So we've always looked to improve our methods. Every year we're refining our methods. And when we first started, the dogs didn't know us. But as we've gone on over the 6 years, of course, they know our vehicles, they smell our nets. People say it's often the yellow T-shirts, but I think it's more the smell. It's the dog nets, the vehicles. So it is actually very hard. So what we've done, we've changed our methods. We do hand catching now before we do net catching, and that's just two people going around on a scooter. They often go into the communities unnoticed. People don't even see them. And they will go around with food, they'll vaccinate the dogs, they put a bit of paint on their head or a collar, and then they will leave. And this has really improved our coverage. Then the net teams come in, and then they will be getting the dogs that haven't been vaccinated. So somebody may, for example, see the teams come in, 10 dogs run away, the team catches one, but some of those may have already been vaccinated by the hand catching teams. Okay. And also what a lot of people don't realise is that we do an area continuously, so we don't just go one time, we keep going back. So we cover each area 3 times, And then we do a survey to check the percentage of that area. So we go around, we count how many dogs have been vaccinated. And as I mentioned before, we're aiming for 70%, not 100. So when we reach that 70%, that's when we move on to a different area. So it may take a few trials to actually get all the dogs that we need, but we don't leave an area that's under coverage.
And at what age the dog can be vaccinated?
So we vaccinate dogs from 1 day of age. Most of the private vets in Goa and some of the other organisations, they will wait till a puppy is 12 weeks. And that's purely because they want to do the deworming and everything first. So for the puppies that are in households, sometimes there is a delay, but we recommend from 1 day old, they can be safely vaccinated. This is because it's a rabies endemic area. And to really be sure that we're protecting people, the puppies have to be done at a young age. We've actually had a lot of puppies under 12 weeks of age in the beginning when we started that tested positive for rabies. So that's why early vaccination is really important.
Okay. And how is the course, as in the first dose, second dose? How is it?
Yeah, so for puppies, we'll do 2 doses. So we'll do the one when they're small, and then we do one 4 weeks later or when they're 12 weeks of age. So it's two doses for puppies, but for an adult dog, it's just a one-off dose that will give immunity.
Is there any side effect of vaccination after that?
It's very rare. We've probably all had our COVID vaccinations now. Some of us had symptoms, some of us didn't. But the side effects are normally very mild. A dog may have a slight fever for 24 hours, may go off food. So it's very rare, but it can happen. As with any medication or any vaccine, there is a chance of side effects, but they are minimal.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
लोक मातसो हांगचो प्रॉब्लेम करता ते गाडयेन सुणी बसना म्हणून पूण आतां जायत जाण तशें येयल्लें आसात तें
तुमकां कितें दिसता की वॅक्सिनेशन अशें जावपाक जाय आनी
अशें जाल्यार बरें न्हू जायत फावटी अशें लोकांक प्रॉब्लेमूय जायना कांय वॅक्सिनेशन दवरलें जाल्यार
पंचायतीन 9 ते 5 पर्यंत 9 ते 5 पर्यंत आज तुमच्या कुत्र्यांक घेवन या फ्री एंटी रेबीज इंजेक्शन तुमच्या कुत्र्यांक आनी सुण्यांक आज 9 ते 5 पर्यंत वेलसांव गव्हर्मेंट सब सेंटर विरोध पंचायती कितें आसा आज फक्त आय
सर आयज हांगासर पंचायतीन तुमच्या रेबीज वॅक्सिनेशन चालू आसा सो त्या बद्दल आमकां मातशें सांग.
हय आयज आमचें मिशन रेबीज आयज एक वॅक्सिनेशन ड्रायव आसा आनी डॉक्टर मोर्गन तेजी इनिशिएटीव तेणें घेयल्या सो आतां देखून सद्याक एक 13 डॉग्साक वॅक्सिनेट केलेली आहा आनी लोक येवपाक चालू आहा कित्याक हो एक बरो इनिशिएटीव आसा सगल्यांनी आमी आमचे पंचायती वरवीं आमी सगल्यांक इन्फॉर्म केलां इवन चर्चींत फादराक आमी मेसेज केल्या इन्फॉर्म केला कोणाक तर कोणाची चिकल्यांत तर घरान पोसलोली सुणीं बी आहाय जाल्यार तांकां येवन वॅक्सिनेट करची म्हण कित्याक एक बरो इनिशिएटीव घेयलो हाचो हांव डॉक्टर मोर्गनाक देव बरें करूं म्हणटा कित्याक तेणी बरो एक हो स्टेप घेयलो आसा.
Hi everyone, I was here with my dog for vaccination. This team is always coming nearly 6 years and giving us a beneficial thing every year for our dogs, so it is safe in our village also and everywhere. So my dog has been vaccinated today, so these vaccines are very good, so I suggest everyone to please help them. They do their campaigning everywhere nearby also. Here it is in Chikalim, they do also in Dabolim, so I do request you all to take your pets for this vaccination and be safe.
कितले वर्ष जाय करता?
Nearly now our dog is 3 years, but before previous dog also we used to do.
I'm Dr. Nishat Costa, working at the Disease Investigation Unit, veterinary officer. The rabies work has been carried on in this laboratory since the laboratory started, but we have been doing the older tests. But once Mission Rabies has collaborated with the government of Goa and had an MOU with us, we have started using the golden standard of doing the direct fluorescent antibody test. So far, from 2017, when this test was established here, the Mission Rabies has helped us with providing the instruments and the reagents that are required. So with that, we've got this microscope here, which is the fluorescent microscope, and along with it came lots of reagents which helped us to do the test faster. Earlier, the samples, since it could not be confirmed here, were sent to Bangalore, to NIMHANS. But now that the test is carried out here, we give a confirmatory result here itself. Considering the statistics, so far from 2017 onwards, we have tested 762 samples, of which only 184 are positive. Now, this is done by the direct fluorescent antibody test, which is performed after the Mission Rabies carries out the rapid test using the lateral flow device.
Well, now Goa is the first rabies control state in India. This is not only going to save the lives of the Goans but also save the lives of the tourists who are coming to Goa. So tourism is also expected to increase. So let us help to maintain this status by getting our dogs vaccinated every year and by reporting any rabid dog to the government rabies hotline to stop the spread of this disease.